You're out and about and you want to measure something, or at least you want to tell someone about something. And you've heard about fish stories where someone says, I caught a fish, and the fish they caught was really this big, but what do they tell you? They tell you, I caught a fish this big. Or they want to get some sort of idea how big something is, but you don't have a measuring tape with you. So you create some sort of reference. And what we're going to do right now, what Gary did here, is he knew that if he stuck his thumb out like this, that this distance for him was about 6 inches. We're going to measure it for us to figure out how long is it for us and how long can we different things. So for example, a measurement that might be helpful and that we can figure out right now. So I'm going to get my measuring tape zoomed out here. One thing that we might find helpful is if you extend your hand all the way from your thumb to your pinky. How much is that? Mine, if I really stretch until it actually starts to hurt, it's almost 9 inches. So I guess if I would do it just calmly, if I just open my hand and calmly put it down, from my thumb to my pinky is 8 inches. So then if I wanted to measure a desk, I could just go 8, 8, 8. I think the desk is about 24. Did anybody measure the length of the desk? 23 and 11/16. So I used my hand because I knew my hand was about 8, and I was able to say it looks like 24 as a close reference. So maybe you want to measure some references right now. Like if I stick my thumb out like he did, sure enough, it's just a little bit past 6. So that's 6 inches, half a foot. The tiles on the floor are 1 foot. So if I look at what my actual shoe is, it's not quite 1 foot. You can measure the tile on the floor to find out. So we want to create some of our own reference. And get these exact measurements. And then figure out what your desk is using just your hand. If you know how tall you are, did you know that when you put your arms out like this, from one side to the other, is exactly the same as your height?
Yes, my dad tells me that.
It's not exactly the same. There are some people that are disproportionate. When someone is disproportionate, you say you look at them and go, something's not quite right, because their hands touch the floor when they walk or something like that. That would be, and then if they put their hands out like this, their arm span would be bigger than their height. But on average, when you put your arm span out like this, it is really close to your height. You could check. When we do some measurements now, if you wanted to check, you could get someone to measure how much your arm span is and then compare that to your height.